Welcome to the video. We're going to talk about the marathon. David Goggins' marathon tips are absolute joke. Dave Goggins. I would destroy David Goggins in a marathon. And I average maybe 500 miles a year. I would destroy David Goggins. And if I took the amount of pharmaceuticals that Dave Goggins took, wow. Amazing. That's another story. David Goggins, he is, he does so much damage to people's bodies. He has this, I'm talking to a young guy, while I'm making this video, talking to a young guy this morning from UK, his name's Sonny, and he's a Goggins fan, he's a Durianrider fan as well, and Goggins says some good things, but really they're just what he's learned from Tony Robbins, which is fine. But Goggins is like, just push through it. If you got cracked bones in your feet, you just push through it. You know, he have these young kids go, yeah, and it's like, yeah. And when you're in your 20s, you think you're invincible. You think you're not gonna have any pain in your 40s because you run so much on so many pills, painkillers, etc., that you can't feel the pain. You just keep going on, and then you got broken bones in your feet, and then you have that for the rest of your life, or you have pins in your, it's stupid. David Goggins' advice is absolute rubbish, right? He says he eats hardly any carbohydrate. It's just in my opinion, putting out that level of information, I ran so hard, I broke all the bones in my feet, and I kept going, because you just got to keep going. You can't quit. That's stupid, man. It's dangerous advice. It's Rambo bullshit. It's Rambo bullshit. And Rambo was on steroids as well. And that's fine, but just... Anyway, I wrote some of my opinion about Dave Goggins, and then he wrote back on his Instagram account. He's like, anyway, I would love to race David Goggins. Dave Goggins, I would destroy you in a running race. Destroy you, Bicycle race, I would destroy David Goggins in a 10-minute bike race or a 10-week bike race. I would destroy David Goggins. Maybe we're going to have a friendly competition, Dave. I know you're watching. Let's have a competition, Dave. Step up. Are you a pussy, Dave Goggins? Are you a pussy? Will you be beaten by this? We're the same age. Will you be beaten by this vegan YouTuber, Dave Goggins? You're a pussy. I would destroy you in a marathon. I would destroy you on the bike. Your advice is crap. You tell people to fear carbohydrate, eat less. You tell people that pain is weakness leaving the body. That's maybe true when it comes to hydrogen ions and lactate, but not when you've got an injury. You shouldn't run, all right? Anyway, so no hate towards Dave Goggins, but your advice, it sucks, bro. It sucks. And you have no integrity promoting that advice. It's crap. So this Sonny guy, he's a Goggins fan. He's got a charity coming up. He wants to run a marathon, his first marathon. And he's wrote me on Instagram. I get a lot of questions every day. I don't reply to everyone. Apologies there. And he's like, I want to do this marathon, in a couple of days. And he's got massive shin splints because he's trained too much too soon. Body hasn't adapted. And then he wants to run a marathon. Not just a marathon, but his first ever marathon. And I've been running marathons since 2001. I run maybe 800 miles, actually probably about 500 miles a year. On average, so a very, very small amount. My best marathon time, 2:47, and that was on about up the K's. I did about 10 miles a week for a few weeks beforehand, and around 2:47. That's with bike fitness. So I've got some experience with the marathon, and I told this Sonny guy, I said, don't do it, man. Do not do the marathon. One, if you don't get a severe stress fracture or severe injury, you dodged a massive bullet. Right? The chances are 99% you either won't finish the marathon, or if you do the Dave Goggins, lots of painkillers, you can probably finish it, but you'll have disrespect for your body. A marathon should be easy. It should not have pain from joint pain. If you're running in pain and you continue to run, you are abusing your body. If you have joint pain, that's abuse. If you have lactate pain, that's normal. You got high heart rate, you're just smashing it. You got to have that pain. You got to learn what's good pain, what's normal pain, and what's pain where your body's going, dude, we could have an injury we never recover from. We could get a spiral fracture in our shin. It's stupid. Never run with pain unless you got a tsunami coming after you. Then, broken foot or die. I'll go the broken foot. But this is just stupid, man. And you have people out there who never ever run again, you know. I see people on YouTube that do videos, Dave Goggins, and they never run again. They get some crazy injury, they never run a ride again. They get fat and they get burnt out, and they're just doing this Dave Goggins calorie restriction diet and heaps of stimulants and all the other stuff. And if you're going to use stimulants, you know, understand that there is a consequence to that, and use them less, and don't use them every day. You know? Otherwise, I would destroy David Goggins. My advice is far better than David Goggins's. His wife doesn't even run marathons. You know what I mean? Like, if your family members aren't as fit as you or really fit, your advice sucks. It's not sustainable advice. Anyway, enough of the banter with Dave Goggins. Dave Goggins, race me. Put your money where your mouth is. Let's do it. Let's set it up. Let's do a race. Let's do a race, Dave Goggins. Let's do it. Anyway, so the marathon tips, I just get hyped up. I get pissed off when I hear these advices from these people, especially influencers, you know. Crazy. So again, no hate to Goggins. Don't hate Goggins, but his advice just sucks, man. It's more just like, look at me, look how tough I am. Take away the pharmaceutical stuff that Goggins takes. You know, he's pretty open about it. Take it away. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. But Goggins, you can take as much stuff as you want. I would still destroy you in a marathon. I'd still destroy you on the bike. I still would. All right? 10 minutes to 10 weeks. I'd destroy you. We should have a race, Goggins. Last man standing. Let's do that. Last man standing. I would love that. It'd give me some reason to get back into training again. I train hardly any of these days. So what? Yeah. So anyway, so to get back to this, you know, if you have pain in a marathon, man, that's crazy. Like, you just don't do it, you know. And this young lad here, I think he's 22, and it's fantastic. He's running for a charity. He's running, you know, for something bigger than himself, and that's fantastic. That's really, really fantastic. And you still got to look after yourself, though. All right. So there's no heroicism in giving yourself an injury in a marathon no one wants you to do that. Nobody wants you to do that. Don't do it. Do it again. Do the marathon next year, or do a 5K. Just don't run in pain, man. Don't run with pain. Otherwise, you're just doing yourself damages. You know, you're doing yourself some severe damage there. So I remember putting out a marathon in 2008. I ran a marathon, and I had a hip flexor issue come up in the marathon, and I was like, oh, maybe we'll just, you know, so I dropped the pace back. But if I drop the pace back, you know, got past my heaps of runners, and I kept going, and it's just getting louder and louder and louder. I'm like, all right, I'm stopping. Just listen to my body, stopping. Right? Sometimes you get a little niggle and it just goes away, but my body said no. So I ended up catching a bus back to the finish line. Didn't have any money on me. Bus, I was like, no worries, mate. Give you a lift back to the city. So, you know, you just got to be able to swallow the ego and just say, okay, my body said no, go back to the drawing board. You know, why did I get injured? Blah 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 blah. Otherwise, if you run through pain, man, you get fisted. Not only you get an injury, but you also get slower. You know, look how slow David Goggins is. Look how slow he is. You see him when he runs; he's just like crawling along. He's so burnt out from abusing his body and not listening to his body. You know, like David Goggins is like a slug with a broken foot. You know, and he's just so slow for how much work David Goggins has put in. Look how slow he is. You know, so if you're going to put that invest, if I was running as much as David Goggins run, I would at least want like a 2:15 or 2:20 marathon. You know, at least a 2:30. So, you know, at least get some results from that. Other than just constant injuries, and he's running on crutches. I saw an Instagram story someone showed me. He's running on crutches. So it's dumb. You know what I mean? Like, if you're 18 and stupid, it's acceptable. Dave Goggins is my age. You know, running on crutches to get some Instagram clout. You're hardcore, man. Just run on crutches. This is stupid, man. It's stupid. Again, nothing personal against Goggins. Just, it super frustrates me that these influencers out there just, you know, and then their fans do the same shit. You know, and that's why you go to the orthopedic surgeons. It's like, yeah, Dave Goggins is good. He brings me a lot of business. You know, Dave Goggins is a legend. He brings us a lot of broken athletes, you know, with injuries and spiral fractures when you go put a titanium pin in their shin bone. It's crazy. So, you know, right, that's not what to do. We talked about high carbohydrate diets, the benefits of that. Everyone knows about that. Carbohydrates. Kenyans, world's fastest marathoners, high carb. Vegan diet is going to be best. Less gastric issues. Dairy, meat just sits in your gut. When you're trying to run fast, meat in your gut ain't going to help you at all. Shoe wise, this is the best shoe money can buy. It's the Nike Next Percent. Unrivaled. Nothing is as good as these shoes. They even have a little mouth at the back that you can glue up. Yeah, Nike Next Percent, got a carbon plate in there. Next Percent. If you want, why would you put all the work into doing a marathon and not have the very, very best footwear? That baffles me. I see people training and they're going to race in a silly shoe. Get these, use these in training and use them for race day. Nike Next Percent Vaporfly. The Alpha Fly, this is the shoe. All right, this is the best shoe. Still in production. Stupidly expensive for what they are. They're probably made for like $5-6 in China, but they are a game changer shoe. Nike Next Percent Vaporfly, unrivaled. I wear them to the shops. I wear them everywhere. What else we're talking about? Pacing yourself. I've got a Garmin here. It's a Garmin 920, the best watch Garmin's ever made, in my opinion. $50 off Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, Gumtree. You get one of these for about $50 Aussie or $50 USD. All right, this is all you need. A Garmin. Replace the band. It's got a different thing on there. It's like $50. Well, if you spend more than $50 on a running watch, you paid way too much. Garmin 920, good battery life, fantastic. People upgrade their Garmin. I'm like, why would you? I mean, these watches have cost maybe $10, $20 to make in China. Why are you paying $300, $200 for a watch? Baffles me. And that's about it. Also, if it's your first ever marathon, it shouldn't be on race day. You should do always. If someone gave me advice back in 2001, do the marathon in training before you do it on race day. All right? Then you know what you got coming to you. You know how your food digests. You know how your shoes work. You know how the socks work. Cut holes in your socks so your toes can go through. All right? And train in that. Get used to that. If your socks are hitting the end of your toes, you're going to lift the toenail off. You're going to get a black toenail. Same with your shoes. If your shoes, my toes go to about here. So I've got all that room to move. And you want to have a wide enough shoe. And so with my socks, which is mostly blister prevention from the balls of the feet and the heel, but the socks, I sort of trim them at the end so my toes can, every time they go forward, they don't hit anything. All right? If your toes hit something, you're losing speed. You're losing marginal gains there. You want your toes to be able to hit the ground, splay, and just go up. Insert, deep insertion in your shoe, and not have anything hitting it. That's brakes, man. And in a marathon, if your foot's braking over 42k, 26.2 miles, you're losing time for the same given effort. Why? Clothing. You want to be cold in a marathon, not freezing, but you want to be very cool because you're going to warm up really well. So if it's ideal temperature would be about 40 Fahrenheit, that's about 7 degrees Celsius. That's about the best temperature for marathons. And if it's in that situation, I'll wear gloves and maybe a little beanie. And as it warms up, you can discard those in an appropriate spot and just a singlet with shorts. So the minimal clothing's the best. Don't use compression leggings, all that stuff. It's going to get too hot. And if you're hot, your body goes, nah, we don't like this. Right? So by letting heat dissipate off your body, your legs, and having your hands warm, if your hands get numb or whatever, keep little gloves on, and then when it gets warmed up, you can see you later, sayonara. And just pace yourself, have a goal time, have a realistic goal time. I would recommend people do let's say your goal is a sub 3 hour marathon, I would recommend doing a 3:45 in training. Do a 3:45 in training. So you're comfortable with the time and the distance. And do it in a similar route that you'll be doing. Because let's say you just train on straight roads. What if your marathon has all these curves and ups and downs? And then your sciatica and your glutes get so tight from all those corners, you're locking up. I've been there in a marathon before. Just heaps of corners and turns. Wasn't used to that. So train specific to what your marathon course is going to be. And this is about training smarter versus that. That's why I can run a 2:47 marathon on 10 miles a week. Because I use all these little cheat codes. I'm not out there drilling myself and getting injured and stupid stuff. That's what you do when you You're 18 for a couple of months, then you realise this is dumb. Never train with pain. Never train with pain. Jump on the bike. And if you can ride a bike with no pain, then you do your marathon workouts on your bike until you have no pain, and then you go back to running or walking. But you ease into it. If you're running with pain, you're going to get fisted. All right? That's just how everyone. I'm 43. I've known thousands of runners over the years, like from Olympic level, people actually gone to Olympics, to like a 300-pounder doing their first mile. Right? That contrast and everything in between. Men, women, young, older. Like, if you train through pain, you're going to get injured. And then what? What's the point of getting injured? Stupid. If you get an injury because of training, it's stupid, man. It's dumb. Ride your bike. Right? And if you got pain on the bike, time off. Your body's saying, we just need time off. Give it time off. Eat your high-carb vegan lifestyle. You'll be fine. And you come back stronger and smarter. And so I feel like now I could run PR marathon just because I know more. I know how to push myself and look after myself better. Right? Things like that. So Dave Goggins, that's race. That's race. If you want me to race Goggins, hit him up on Instagram. Say, why won't you race Durianrider? Are you backing out of the challenge? The Aussie wants to roast you on a marathon. That'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? I would love to do that. That would be great. It would be like smart training versus stupid training. Are you training smarter or are you training stupider? Is your training making you a better person, or is your training making you an injury patient? Are you training to put your orthopedic surgeons and all the podiatrists' kids through private school? I'm not, man. I ain't training to go see a podiatrist and all those people and spend money on that and stuff like that because I'm training stupid. Right? There might be a time and place for people like that, but for the average athlete out there, they're just training way too much or not enough or just in a stupid format, So are you training to gain results, or are you training to gain bank balance contributions to the surgeons and the doctors and the podiatrists and the coaches and nutritionists, all those people out there in the professional world who think the world's fastest marathons don't even use, maybe except for a couple of blood doctors there. You know what I mean? It's very, very simple. The nutrition's simple, the shoes are simple, the pacing's simple, the strategies are simple. Our egos want to make it more complex than it really is. The solutions are so simple. Fastest shoe in the world, best watch in the world, sugar for the win. Boom. Got any questions? Here's down below. Always train smarter versus harder. Don't be the dummy. Don't be the Dave Goggins fan who's limping into the clinic. I think I got a stress fracture. You listen to Dave Goggins' audiobook as you're going to run it and you're like running in pain. Oh, I see him every day, man. Every day. Or at least every few days when I'm out in the morning. I see people running and they're like running like this. If you're running like this and it's not the last 100-meter sprint, if you're running like this on your training run and you're doing like a 5-minute K pace, dude, go home, stop. All right? Have a break, have a rest. You're not getting faster, you're just getting slower. You're going to be like a Dave Goggins snail. I see him right there, they've got knee braces on, they've got the Kino tape. It's like, what are you doing? And I talk to these people, sometimes I stop and talk to say, dude, you should go home, man. They're like, what? And I'm like, you're listening to too much Dave Goggins. It's crazy, man. That dude's gone viral with his stupid training methods. It's crazy. It's crazy. But hey, we've all been there. I can talk with conviction and experience because I've been there. I used to, look for inspiration and go run 16 kilometers and be sore for like 2 weeks afterwards. It's just I don't know why we do that. It's almost like romantic, or it's just stupid. But everyone's done it. I've done that. And it's like Karate Kid style. I think I'm just going to run 16 Ks, or I'm going to run a marathon off nothing, and I'm going to become... It's like, no, dude, you're just going to give yourself an injury. Or make your form really bad. Make your muscles so tight. Make your glutes so tight. This sciatica is just like, oh my God, what are you doing to us, man? What are you doing? You want to have supple muscles. Right? Supple muscles are fast muscles. I don't know about you, but I like being as fast as possible for the least amount of work and zero injury. That's for me, that's fun. I'm not afraid of doing hard work, but I'm not going to do more than I need to get less results. That's just dumb. That's just like, it's like using slow Wi-Fi when you got the option for fast. Why? You know, if you got the option to earn $20 an hour for the same effort for earning $5 an hour, why would you do that? I don't know. Some people happily do that. I don't know. I see them every day out there, running in pain, getting injured, hating running, quitting, being inconsistent. Right? Never run with pain. Cross-train on your bike. Respect your body, and there you go. Look how fast I am. Minimal training, and look how slow David Goggins is. Always injured, running on crutches, in pain. Imagine being that dude. Imagine being that dude's wife. Oh, here we go again. He's injured again. He's in a bad mood again. Oh no, you know what I mean? That's no quality of life. Doesn't matter how much money you got in the bank. If you're a moody, grumpy, grumble bum running on crutches, you've failed. You have failed. You might say you can't hurt me. That's fine, but because you hurt yourself. You hurt your joints, dude. You hurt your bones, man. All right? Who cares if no one can hurt you? You hurt yourself. Never be your own worst enemy, all right? Never be your own worst competition, physically and or mentally. Peace.